rotate device. This way. Okay, well, I guess we're walking along. Ooh, nice and choppy. Wait, can I just do... I wonder if I can rotate sideways. Let's see if I can do that. Click now. Let's see, this goes in front of me. Ooh. And this goes behind me. This is pretty choppy. Interesting. I go here. We'll do top chat, live chat as we walk along. Although I kind of wanted to do a portrait. Hello. Hi, Evie. What's up? How's the video? Is it choppy? It kind of looks choppy on my end, but who knows? It's at live cam very choppy. I wonder like why. Interesting. Wonder if there's like a setting or buffering or something. Is the audio okay? Let's see. More buttons to click. I still look pixelated good. Or I still look good pixelated. I guess that's the way to do it. Aw, thanks. Maybe it'll even out at some point. And if not, we can always try again. You know, it's a learning process. Let's see. Do that. We can like walk along the trail. And we can go back. So audio's good. And I guess you only need still frames of me anyway. So how y'all doing? It's a lovely, very overcast day where I'm at and very choppy. It's actually a very choppy day. It's a low frame rate day out here in California. And it's actually got some pretty good trees though. I like this trail because it has like pine tree things. And then in a little bit, I'm gonna go under some purple trees, which is also cool. Good morning from Australia and 4th of July weekend, that's right. It is 4th of July weekend. No still frames, we love live action Bryce. Oh yeah, I'm a very dynamic character. We need all the frames per second for me. But we're gonna go under the trees with some still purple on it. If we look up, those are purple. And they're actually on the ground, little purple doodads on the ground. Yep, it's a long weekend. I'm taking Monday off of work, so I get a 4-day weekend, which is pretty great. Excited about that. Although, yeah, I'm just gonna stick around local. No trips for me. It's too crowded. First night of Calm in Paris. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been seeing some videos over there. There's lots of wild stuff going on. I saw like breaking into some store, like some car like ran through the front of a store and people were breaking in. What brings me live? Well, I just want to get outside and walk, and I figure this is a good opportunity to do it. Just go live and hang out with people. Because why not? I'm getting some steps in. I already went to the gym. I ran a little bit earlier, but I still want to move. So I'm just going to get out and walk and see if I can be two birds, one stone. I can hang out with you guys and walk at the same time. Utah is also overcast. Utah is beautiful. When I was in Utah 2018, I was doing the Arches National Park 50-mile race, and that was super fun. Do I walk daily? I try to get outside just because I live in a place where you can go outside. I'm not sweltering heat. Like if I was in Phoenix, Arizona, I'd probably turn into a pile of ash. And if I was, you know, in the winter in Toronto, Canada, I would turn into an ice cube. But because I'm in California, I don't turn into ash or an ice cube. So I try to get outside and just take advantage of living where I live. So that's why I'm outside walking. I don't generally do it like every single day or anything like that, but when I can, because working out inside gets kind of old after a while. It's nice to be outside, especially running outside, which is why I run a lot. You go to really cool places when you run. South Carolina full swamp. Yeah, I've definitely been there. I was in June in South Carolina for a wedding, and luckily the weather cooled off when I was wearing a suit. Otherwise it would have just turned into a giant puddle. But I had a lot of fun in South Carolina. I went to a lake by Clemson, and I was actually wearing Clemson shorts the other day, and some guy asked, "Hey, when did you graduate?" It's like, no, I was just a friend. But I haven't been to Charleston. Just by Clemson, South Carolina, Greensville, Spartanburg, that area. super up and coming. It's like really cool because they have the river going through town and there's a lot of new construction and really cool stuff. Yep, just keep on moving. Getting some steps in is tough, but you know, if you can move and be active at the same time. So I'll listen to podcasts or books. I'm like on book 6 of like The Witcher again. And Witcher just came out again on Netflix. So I gotta go watch that. And actually I gotta pay attention crossing a street now. Saying you can't just zone out. But hey, better than nothing. It's wood chip too, it's good on the knees. Yeah, suffocating humidity. And it's not like you could just like wear a scuba tank to get some dry air. What podcast? 2 main ones. So the British History podcast, that's been going on for like over a decade now. And they're only in the year 1000 something after the Normans took over from across the sea, William the Conqueror, Battle of Hastings, all that fun stuff. But they're like just post that right now. I still have a few episodes to catch up on. And then I listened to a video game podcast called Technical Alpha. So I used to watch a lot of StarCraft back in the day, if anybody plays StarCraft or StarCraft 2. And I watched these guys from Halifax, Canada. And actually, they have a podcast now, and I've been listening to that for 5 years. It just keeps me up on like video game news and stuff. Don't me. But those are the main 2. I used to listen to a philosophy podcast. I don't remember what it was called. That was like a decade ago. So yeah, philosophy, just like entertainment news from a couple of guys who are in Halifax. Not popping up on YouTube too. Hey Kroof. What up, Connor? Oh, did I just combine your name? Oh, that's fine. You got your name on both socials. Yeah, I'm popping up on the YouTubes. I finally got it to work. They made me wait 24 hours after I tried to go live yesterday. And then they're like, hey, you gotta wait 24 hours. So it's less than 24 hours later, actually. Now, everybody say hi to Kroof. Go follow Kroof's channel if you like Guild Wars content or any other hilarity. Don't look up the video fuck it all, because Kroof probably took that down by now, but if it's still up, you should go find it. Please keep doing YouTube content, your only social media. Yeah, I mean, I like YouTube. It's good. I like made some videos, but they were like too daunting of a task, like back in 2021, that time frame. And one of them like took off because I think Reddit grabbed a hold of it, and it's like the what do pit crew do? And it got like a bajillion views. And then I didn't touch my YouTube for like over a year, and it collected dust. So now I'm back, but only doing easy, low-key stuff where we're just hanging out. It's like too stressful to put together a whole get-up of like Twitch streaming and editing videos and all that. But if I can just do it from my phone, which works okay, apparently, then I'm just gonna go do that. And I already had like this mic, so hopefully the sound quality is not atrocious. And that's why I'm just doing this. Going for a walk, getting some steps. I've got about 5,000 on this watch, and then I ran like a few miles earlier today. So combined, doing all right so far. Have you or WoW ever considered a pit crew competition spin-off? So we did do Pit Crew, which was the name of, you know, the YouTube series for a while, but curls and questions is plenty. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm doing some curls, which is great, keeps me active, and then walking keeps me active. So it's not like I'm sitting at a desk, I'm doing something outside, productive, and hanging out with you. But as for a spin-off, I don't think we're gonna do one. It's mostly like a scheduling thing. It's tough to get a whole separate film crew out there to do that, and I think it just wasn't worth the time, but who knows? They should give me more speaking roles. I agree. Those are some of my most fun moments on the show, because it's kind of liberating knowing that I'm not trying to be an actor or anything. It's all fun on the side, so there's zero pressure. So I just have fun with it and do whatever I want, and apparently they keep me around. And then they have Go Go for the Gold. Oh, my favorite animated movie. Oh, somebody asked me my favorite Disney movie last night, but animated movie. Oh yeah, Grave of the Fireflies. If Kroof is still around, I watched that with Kroof, and it was, oh, we were balling. It was, oof. Probably not my favorite, but that is a very good one. Animated, well, let's go with that. It's like just a very good movie, very sad, but Grave of the Fireflies. Let's see. No, they don't have to pay us any different if we have a speaking role. It's not union work. It's just a flat rate we show up. So if there's any theories about needing to pay us more, no, that's not it. We get like a day rate. So whatever we do, we just do. And it's a surprise every time. From Australia. Wow. Down under. And all that shrimp on the Barbie. No, from Austria. Anyways, that's a Dumb and Dumber reference. Back in Chicago, the Windy City, enjoying happy hour. Oh, you should be back on the trails. Hey, just enjoy life in all the many ways. So enjoy hanging out, drinking beers with friends, enjoy walking outside. There's a variety, lots to enjoy, and honestly, I don't like doing any one thing too much in a row because you kind of risk getting burnt out on it and you don't have as much fun. So I like to kind of balance out all the things I like. So I like balancing just walking outside, running really far, drinking some wine with some friends, playing some video games, although not lately. But you know, it goes in cycles. I might pick up video games again. I just did so much. Just taking a break until just kind of follow whatever inspires me at the moment. Come to Costa Rica. Oh, that's so funny because I just got my guitar fixed up at a luthier, I think that's what they're called. And luckily I went today because the guy who fixed up my guitar said, oh, this evening I'm leaving to Costa Rica for 18 days. So luckily I went today to get it fixed up. But that means I might play guitar on stream at some point, now that it's all fixed up and hopefully sounds a little better. Any pets? Yeah, I have 2 cats. Siri and Regis. They showed up on my Twitch streams a lot, but they're very cute. And actually, my previous Instagram story has a picture of Regis just passed out on the bed pretty much. What kind of wine? Well, red wine usually. Although I did go to a screening of the movie Suzume, which is about like the tsunamis in 2011, but it's very fantastical. It was an anime, and we had a really good, what was it called? Riesling? Yeah, but only if it's like a really good Riesling, but usually like a Cab or a Merlot, something like that. Although if you watch the movie Sideways, they make fun of Merlots. I like Merlot, that's fine. Yep, yay kitties. I got 2 kitties. They are brother and sister. I got them at the same time. It'd be kind of weird getting one cat and then go, oh, here's your brother. Well, it might be a brother from like another litter, same mom, second round, but no, same round of kitties. And that's what I got. Ooh, we were walking. We're almost at a mile now. Not from since I started, but from, since I started walking. Yep. Yeah, Riesling. Yeah, it was just like a really nice bottle. I forgot what it was called, but at the screening of the movie, it was at somewhere in like downtown LA, and it was a really cool event with all sorts of good food. So felt lucky about that. How do I feel about pet snakes? I actually grew up with a few pet snakes. My sister and I each had one gardener snake. She named hers Winnie, after like Winnie the Pooh, I think. And then I named mine Canyon because it was brown and had the colors of a canyon. So I had the 2 snakes, Canyon and Winnie. How did I pick my cat names? The Witcher. I just finished reading all of the Witcher books right around the time I got the cats. It was like during the pandemic, and I was just like blowing through audiobooks. So 2 characters from The Witcher, which I played the games first, and then I read all 8 books, and then I've been watching the Netflix show. So there are 2 characters from The Witcher, Ciri, and hopefully Regis shows up at some point in the show. I'll have to see, maybe he shows up in season 3, or maybe not, who knows. Am I also a gamer? Oh, bless your heart. Yes. I've got like a whole spreadsheet of all the games that I own and I've beaten. I've been playing video games since I was a child. I've beaten, I think, around 400 games. I'll have to check the actual number, but I have a whole list of every game I've beaten. So yeah, a lot of games, but like I said, cycle around to what I enjoy. So going for a walk right now instead of playing video games, or maybe I'll go to the pier and have a drink with a friend, or who knows. Be still your beating heart. And I just said, bless your heart. 2 hearts on the stream, would you look at that? You're in Hogwarts Legacy. That's actually the last game I played. I played for a whole hour before I went for a trip to go visit my dad in Hawaii. And then I just never started it up again because I got kind of busy. If you watch Drag Race, and if I do I have favorite queens? Well, I answered that on Curls and Questions, but I can answer it again. Why not? But still, go watch Curls and Questions. I try really hard. I have a light that I put up that I already had from my Twitch days, and I put my phone on like a tripod, and I do curls. It's very difficult doing curls for like 3 minutes straight with dumbbells. I mean, not really. I just go slowly. But on the last Curls and Questions, I said yes. Not every single episode, but usually if I'm on it, I'll watch the highlights or something like that just to keep up with what's going on. And then I think I picked Trixie, Monet Exchange, and then Jinx Monsoon. Those were, yeah, you got it. Yeah, Jinx, Trixie, and Monet. And I actually saw Monet on front of like a magazine outside my grocery store. I was like, ooh, there's Monet. I should have taken a picture and like tagged her, but whatever. Yeah, answered it. Have I played Pokemon? Of course I did. I had a see-through silver game, or see-through purple Game Boy Color back in the day. My grandma got that for me with Pokemon Blue, and that's how I started. I think, I don't remember who I picked. It wasn't Charizard. It was probably Squirtle or Bulbasaur. But yep, played plenty of Pokemon. I don't think I'm ever going to pick up a Pokemon again. I just don't have the time or urge to collect them all. But they were fun. They're whimsical. They're good games, just all around. Just not my jam anymore. My number one type of game I like to play is JRPGs. I grew up on Final Fantasy VII. That's like near and dear to my heart. So JRPGs, I played a lot of hours of shooters, but mostly because that's an easy one to stream. You just run around and shoot things, and you can kind of like not pay attention to things. Shh, don't tell my teammates that I don't pay attention. But yeah, streaming, I played a lot of hours of shooters. Like, a lot is relative, but I played a lot of Apex and Halo. I'm really bad at fighting games, so that's a no-go. No-go on the fighting games. I'm so bad. I would, given infinite time, I would be playing the pixel remasters of Final Fantasy. And then, just because I haven't been prioritizing games, I will play Final Fantasy 16 at some point. But just not quite yet. Maybe the PS5 will come out with like a PS5 Pro, or I'll wait like 6 months or a year and it'll come out on PC and I'll just do that. Like, I don't want to buy a whole PS5 just for one game. That seems, not that I'm the most fiscally responsible person all the time, but if I had the choice to sometimes be fiscally responsible, I don't want to spend $500 on a console to play one game. So it'll still be there. It's not like it's going to disappear. I'm sure there'll be some like remastered deluxe edition at some point that I'll get. Like with Final Fantasy 15, they came out with the one with all the DLCs. And even 7 Remake, I didn't play the Yuffie DLC yet because not a priority at the moment. A favorite character? Ooh, that's a good one. I like Sid, was always pretty funny. He's like the tough talking dude. And then Barrett with a heart of gold, hanging out with Marlene, making sure she's okay. So maybe Barrett actually, just because he was like this tough guy on the outside, but he like cared deeply about Marlene and wanted to make sure she was safe, and that was like his inner soft spot. So I kind of like him a lot actually. Let's see, vacations revolve around your interests in walking, hiking. Yeah, I do. A lot of my vacations actually are like when I went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, I bought like the cheapest Spirit airline ticket. I packed like a single bag because there's no carry-on, and I stayed at a hostel for like 35 bucks. It was like the cheapest thing I could find. And I went there mostly to go take photos of, say, like the Grand Tetons and all the wildlife around there. So that was a trip that was almost purely photography based. But I don't want to make that the focus of every trip, because sometimes you want to go on a trip and hang out with family and friends, and you want to spend time with them, not go, hey, I'm going to ditch you for 4 hours to go drive to some spot to wait for the sunrise. Okay, bye. Like, it depends on what the focus of the trip is, but I do definitely pick some places for photography. And then if I do a race, I'll try to pick a cool destination to go on that race. So for example, I went to like Utah for a race, went to Idaho, Montana for a race, I went to Oklahoma for a race. So I go to a lot of different places for races. Ooh, that alliteration right there, places for races. Yeah, waiting on a PS5 Slim. I still want a disc-based version because I have a lot of PS4, well, a lot. I have a few PS4 games that I want to play that are discs. So if it's a Slim without a disc, I don't think I would go for that. But because I sold my PS4 because I just wasn't touching it. And I'd rather just have the money as opposed to a thing taking up space, with the idea that eventually I'd get a PS5 and I'd play my backlog of PS4 games. How tall am I? 6'2.5", give or take. Tifa, the Stagger Queen. Oh, staggering is in the remake, not the original, right? Yeah, Tifa can kick everyone's ass. Well, farewell, KDC. Have a good rest of your day, or morning, or evening, or whatever it is. Let's see. Continue walking around. Pixel Remaster. I heard those are pretty good. I wish Final Fantasy VI. Wait, aren't they remaking 9? Did anyone? I thought I heard a rumor that Final Fantasy 9 was being remade or something, or maybe that's just a rumor. Who knows? Wonder if Kroof is still around. Let's see. The most meta conversation you've had? When's the last time I... Oh, no, that's KDC. KDC's already out. Let's see. What else is up? The streaming on YouTube. Glad this works. I'll have to figure out how to do it in portrait mode, because I wonder how, if this exports to a VOD, if it's just going to be a portrait VOD. Seems kind of weird. Oh, heavily rumored FF9, not officially. Okay, so it's a rumor, which probably has some merit to it, I would assume. Final Fantasy VIII, that is probably my second favorite. It's 7, 8, and 10 are like my top 3. 7 is number 1 because that was the first one I played. 8 because like the soundtrack, like walking around Balam Garden, Fisherman's Horizon, so good. And kind of goofy characters like Zell and Selphie. So I had a lot of really good memories with 8. I don't mind the wonky battle system, that's fine. Yeah, no, 8 is one of my top 3, 7, 8, and 10. So I really like that. If they remade that, I would totally play it. They'd probably have to do a lot of work with the battle system to balance it out, so modern people wouldn't just like break it immediately. But when I was 12 or 13, you know, it was totally fine, totally fun. Ooh, more Australians. Hello again from Australia. Oh, if I was a contestant on Drag Race, what would my drag name be? Well, I think we've answered that as Red Hot Tita with 2 T's. And that was back in 2018, I think season 10 time frame. That actually came up on an O Pit Crew. So Red Hot Tita. And you have to go Tita at the end, so it's 2 T's. My initial answer was Fireman Bob, but that sounded like a porn name, so we're not going with Fireman Bob. I just thought fireman, you know, red hair, it works. But no, Red Hot Tita with 2 T's. Yeah, F of 8 is favorite. What's your second favorite besides 8? I feel like 7 and 8 people kind of go together. And then not a lot of people say 9. It had a really good soundtrack and it was pretty old school, so to speak. I mean, that was the whole point, right? It was the throwback to its roots from Final Fantasy 6 and 5. I wonder how many steps I'm at now. I am not. I am as straight as a whistle. 6,800. Okay, we're getting there. And people are running by. It's a good wood chip trail. Although wood chip kind of reminds me of elementary school playgrounds. They usually have a lot of wood chip. I feel like playgrounds have changed a lot. Not that I go to them a lot, but I feel like they used to be so like metal and burny and everything's like plastic and soft and rubbery now. So it's a lot safer. Probably fewer kids breaking their heads and scraping their knees, I would imagine. Howdy, Jaden. Favorite snack? Shrimp chips. Those Galby shrimp chips, they look like French fries, but they're like shrimp flavored. That is my number one favorite snack. I'm really sad the Vaughn's grocery store by me no longer stocks them, because I'd like to get them every once in a while. I don't want to get them like every week, but they're one of those things that if I see them, it's like, oh, number one. But like I said earlier in the stream, it's all about moderation. I don't want to eat 1,000 bags of shrimp chips and then suddenly not like them anymore. I like to enjoy them for a long time. Favorite snack? Oh yeah, I just answered that. The last movie I have seen, so that would have to be feature-length movie. Last one I watched was Conan the Destroyer. I made it about halfway through Conan the Destroyer, and then it got late, and I was like, I'll finish it later. I was trying to watch Conan the Barbarian, but they took it down from Netflix before I could watch the second half of it, so that was a bummer. Tears of the Kingdom, no, I didn't even bother buying a Switch because I have so many games in my backlog that I'm just not gonna buy new game consoles until I beat my backlog, which is never gonna happen. So yeah, I hear it's fun, and I have not tried Genshin Impact either. I've been actually trying to work my way through The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind lately. Remember my first day on Drag Race? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Well, I met Jason and Miles, I think at the cafeteria, like crafty food area. So I met the other two guys, they were nice. I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what to expect. Then the first day I met Rue, he was super nice. He just walked by, I was like, oh, hi. And then, I don't even remember, oh, that was the, where we walked out naked one. Yes, season 7, episode 1, Mazel Tov. That was funny. So yeah, I do remember that. And then we had, let's see. No, my mind's blanking. If I can meet any historical figure, who would it be and why? I'm gonna go under the assumption that we can still understand each other, even if it's far enough back that English has changed or they're speaking another language. But with that assumption, ooh, that's a good one. Maybe like one of the pharaohs, like way, like, 5,000 years ago. I want to go back really far and just see what life was like when we don't have like a good grasp of the history. So probably one of the pharaohs, like a leader of a civilization, so they can give me like the lay of the land, and just like learn firsthand accounts of a civilization that was way a long time ago, and just see like where they are and how different it is. So one of the pharaohs. I couldn't really pick one because I don't know that much history. Yeah, I met Sean. We worked, so he wasn't full-time pit crew anymore when I joined, but he did come back a few times and I met him. He's a nice guy. I think he's out in Texas now. Dream vacation or country / place. So, I'd kind of want to go to like the fjords in Norway just because I watched a lot of Vikings, and that'd be kind of cool to go to the fjords. I've already been to places where like I go for food, like Taiwan has amazing food, but I'd kind of like to see fjords. That'd be fun. Time travel to the past or the future. Ooh, that one requires some thought. If you go to the future, I guess you just kind of look at what stocks do really well. Wait, do you get to come back? Because I would just go to the future and just like, you know, do the Back to the Future thing and just like invest in stocks so it's like you don't have to work anymore. That's assuming I can come back. But I'd also want to go far enough in the future where I'd be like, ooh, technology, or maybe it's bleak and I don't want to know. So, and especially if it's a one-way ticket, future's probably better too. But not selfishly, if I didn't want to invest, I'd rather go in the past and see some like crazy ancient civilization and see how that works. Do I speak other languages? 我是美国人. That means I'm American. 你好吗? And then Japanese. あなたのベッドはどこですか? Where's your bed? I know that Japanese phrase. I haven't used it in Japan, but. And then. Hola, me llamo Bryce. ¿Cómo estás? I know like probably the most Spanish, and I have a lot of coworkers in Puerto Rico. So it helps a little bit if I join a call and they're speaking Spanish. I can see if they're talking shit behind my back. They aren't, to be fair, but it is kind of fun. And then un, due, tre, quattro, cinque. Say I don't remember any Italian. Have I acted in movie, TV shows? No. The closest I got was the Hulu show Hey Victor. Was trying to cast for like some go-go dancer in a club. Like the plot was they were supposed to go into a club and there's supposed to be some dancers, and the casting person thought of me and emailed me. He's like, hey Bryce, would you be interested in being a dancer in this show Hey Victor? And I was like, yeah, totally. And then he's like, oh, are you part of SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild Union? And I was like, oh, no. And then that was that. I'm not part of the union, so I didn't get to be on Hey Victor. So that's the closest I got. But if anybody wants to cast me in a speaking role, by all means, I'll probably do it. Yeah, but that's like all the Mandarin and Japanese I know. That's it. Ooh, a superpower. That's a good one. Let's see, flying. I mean, I make airplanes, so I'd be kind of out of a job. I don't know. Yeah, it is expensive for membership, I guess. But there's also perks, I assume. You get to go to cool movie screenings and stuff like that. I don't know. It's probably, well, it pays a lot more if you're in a SAG job. There's also all sorts of rules too, like you can't do non-union jobs as well. So you can't do the side stuff. But there's workarounds, I think. I don't know. I don't know too much about it. But I'm sure if like you're actively booking work, then the union membership is worth it. Yeah, if I was on more movies and TV series, that would be fun. It's just also a time thing too. Because I have my like aerospace job, which is like a full-time job. And if I don't, do that, then I can't pay my bills. And I tried to go out for auditions and stuff. Several years ago, I got an agency, but they sent me to all this bullshit, like cattle call type stuff where leveraging any of the fact that I was already on a show. There's like, hey, go try out for this like Dave and Buster's commercial. And then I would have to drive like an hour through LA traffic in the middle of the day, sit around, so it takes like 4 hours just to like audition for 5 minutes. And it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't getting anything. So I was like, oh, I'm just not gonna do this. And then, yeah, that's that story. So if something lands on my lap, like, hello Bryce, here's a commercial we want you in. You can be the redheaded guy in some commercial. I would do it, but I'm not gonna actively pursue anything that's way too much time. And I'd rather do my normal job, just walk around and do this and just enjoy life and not be working 24/7. You can see me in a movie. Well, hey, if you know any movie directors and casting directors, pitch them. We want to see Bryce. If I could choose another profession, I think money-wise, I would probably just do computer engineering. I think I could do it pretty well. And the salaries would be a lot better than aerospace. Aerospace is fine, but in LA, it's like comical how expensive LA is. So I'd probably just have to be like a Google software engineer, but I also probably would hate my job. So I don't know. It's a tough balance there. I would not be a lawyer because I can't read that fast. I mean, I can read, okay, but I'm not like going to read enough of what's required for a lawyer to have that kind of job quickly enough. So yeah, I'd probably still be an engineer of some sort. Maybe, marketing would be fun. If I was good at market, say chicken nuggets, why? Do I like Six Flags or Disney? I liked roller coasters more when I was younger. Now I'm just like, I've been on enough where I don't really get the thrill anymore. So Disney's just kind of fun to walk around, but probably neither. I'd rather just be out on a mountain somewhere. As an aerospace engineer, what am I working on? What's my day like? Well, generically, I work on environmental control systems, which is thermal management for aircraft, lots of different aircraft, making sure things don't melt. Day to day, I'm actually a systems engineering manager now. So I manage like 20 plus some odd people in Los Angeles, Arizona, and Puerto Rico, and we all work on jets. And I might be responding to customer proposals like, hey, they want some doodad on their aircraft that needs to cool XYZ, and we see what kind of offering we have in our catalog, or if we have to develop new hardware, put the cost estimate together. Or just doing general personnel things like general HR, BS, that kind of thing. I don't know, it's so varied. Export compliance, all that sort of stuff. You'd send your client to jail, or you would, like, because you're doing a poor job, or you just think they're guilty and you're going to be nefarious and not actually do your job. Imagine you making commercials with drag queens and their max. Well, yeah, I mean, we do those green screen challenges, right? Where we're just walking around, I'm walking around right now, where we come up with fake commercials, and those are super fun. And I could see that, like, it seems, from the outside, it seems so easy just to be marketing, like, buy my product. You could be like super liminal, like, hey, buy my merch. Actually, I'm doing a bad job of selling my own merch right now. I'm not wearing any of it, but you should go buy a mug or a hat, or I don't think I even sell hats. I don't even know what I sell. Anyways, oh, you just be a bad lawyer. Okay. Incompetent lawyer. Maybe that's the right word. Yeah, it's like, oh, you got like a jaywalking ticket, and all of a sudden you show up as the lawyer and you're so bad the client goes to jail. Like, we can't actually put people in jail for jaywalking. I didn't know that. Yeah, the weather is great. I mean, it's overcast, it's not too hot. I'm actually wearing sleeves, so not too bad. And then, yeah, I heard the heat in Texas is rough. Like, overnight, trying to get the houses to cool down is a difficult thing to do. So hopefully you've got one of those Vornado fans that gets the air circulating to cycle out during the night. But I bet it's also humid, and especially like if you're in like Houston or something, that's probably really tough. If you'd love to buy my merch, well, there should be a link in like a link tree or something. I've been having an issue linking it up to my Instagram. So Teespring is like the company that does like on-demand merch. So I don't have to carry inventory or anything. They do all the printing and shipping and everything. But for some reason it's like messing up linking to Instagram. So I just have to like leave a link to the merch on my bio, which is like not very elegant. It used to work like a year ago. And then for some reason, I'm sure something in the back end is changing. I'll keep on trying though. I don't actually witness a lot of lip sync challenges, to be honest. Because if I'm not actively needed there, I'm not on the set. And usually lip sync challenges are after we do whatever we're doing. So I might stick around to see them if I want to just wait out traffic before I drive home. But I never, stick around for them. I've seen some eliminations though. I saw Blair St. Clair when that was, go watch Blair St. Clair's one. It was had a true sob story right beforehand, and then and you're eliminated. It's oh my gosh, the double whammy. It was rough. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of eliminations. The Windy City air was bad. Well, hopefully the Windy City blew out all the bad air and it's okay now. You remember me dancing in the Rusical? Dancing, that's a generous term. I have fun. I wiggle around and hope for the best, okay? That's what I try. So otaku, you can go find a link probably in Instagram or something, unless there's still a link on the YouTube channel. I don't know. Ooh, from Brazil. There's so many folks from Brazil. We have good old Bruno from Brazil. Great guy, super cool, go check him out. I think somebody asked if he has a YouTube channel. I don't know, I don't think he does. He has TikTok and Instagram and stuff, so maybe one day he'll have a YouTube, who knows? How's Brazil going? Nice and, wait, when's Carnival? I never remember. And then it shows up and oh, that's a huge party. I think Bruno usually goes to that. I prefer cold if I had to have a choice, simply because I would sweat a lot, I would get sunburned, I would do much better in the cold. So yeah, and it's easier to run in the cold weather. If it's too cold, you can put on a couple of layers and run, as long as it's not icy, then yeah. So I do a lot better in the cold weather. So that's what I prefer, also because of sunburns. Which is why, I live in a very temperate climate, but I would not do well in a desert where it's over 100 degrees every day. Oh, the drums on season 13. Oh gosh. Yeah, that was a silly day. Luckily I had hair and they put it up in spikes. We had all these spiky things. That was silly. And I cannot play the drums, but it was a real drum set. So we actually had, I tried not to hit the cymbals when we were playing because I just didn't want to destroy everyone's sense of well-being and hope in the world by listening to the cacophony of my drum playing. I play guitar all right, but drums, nope, no rhythm. It's bad. Do I like the beaches? Yeah, I like being near the beach. I'll occasionally like going in the ocean, in the water. I grew up by a beach and went body surfing a lot growing up. So I like it, but it's not something that I need to go to every single day, just because it's a bit of a hassle sometimes with all the sand and everything. So, but I enjoy the beach. It's pretty, it's peaceful. Especially beaches in Puerto Rico where it's super calm and there's bars along the beach and there's music. Very, very relaxing. Yeah, all that hairspray. Every once in a while we'll have hair and makeup, and I'll occasionally get a free haircut, which is great. Saves me a few bucks because I can have hair and makeup do my hair. It's ooh, nice. I saved I only get $25 haircuts from Supercuts or something because my hair is pretty easy to do. Just kind of buzz the sides, take some off the top, thin it out a little bit, just so it swoops around all right, and you're done. Perfect date for me. What was the William Shatner quote? He's April 23rd. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's springtime with the flowers. It's my favorite date. I love that answer. I don't remember. It was some March or April date. But it depends on a first date or something longer. A first date, just something low key with an option to hang out later. So just go to a wine bar or something and have a couple of glasses of wine, and if hitting it off, go to some rooftop bar or something like that, or go for a walk. Something low key with an option to extend or bail if it's going badly. And then for a longer term date, just going to the mountains where it's beautiful, seeing some beautiful things together, making memories like that. Not going to a club, that's not my jam. I can't hear in a club, like my hearing, picking out people talking in loud rooms is not, I can't do it. So somewhere quiet as well. Pet peeves, thievery. Like honestly, when people choose to make someone else's life worse by stealing from them or whatever it is, just irks me a lot. I've had stuff stolen from me and every time I'm just like, ah! Like I was in middle school on a field trip to Wild Rivers. It was like, and I had lunch money in my backpack and I went to go buy lunch and I reached into my backpack and somebody stole my lunch money. So I was like, oh, great. Somebody stole like $15. That means nothing to them and now I can't eat. So screw that person. So instances like that kind of build up over time. So just like petty theft is just so irritating. But in the grand scheme of things, my life is not really impacted by that. It's just like a pet peeve. Like it's not life-changing when like somebody steals my crappy bike or something like that. It's just irksome. So a pet peeve. Red wine, if I have to choose. And I do choose red wine. Usually like a California red blend, cab, something like that. Proportionizing queens. That was really funny. Oh, April 25th. That's what it is. Okay, that was the date of William Shatner. Yeah. Good old Billy Shatner. Star Trek, such a great series. There's only like, is Bill Shatner and George Takei like the only people left from the original series? You know, Spock died, and Uhura died. Pretty much everyone's gone from the original Star Trek. But, I don't know. Hey, you finally caught me alive. Thanks, Wilhelm. And I am doing a great job getting some steps in, and I'm glad this is working out okay, because I just like, I will go for long walks sometimes, like 1 to 2 hours, where I'm just walking, listening to a podcast or something. So this is nice to mix things up. Almost at 10,000 steps on this watch. I have not watched Star Trek Picard yet. I would, given infinite time. But there's like, you know, there's like 100 TV shows out there. You're like, oh yeah, we got Star Trek and Succession and Picard and House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, etc. Like, I just got to be okay with knowing that I'm not going to see everything and just enjoy the stuff that I'm watching. So maybe one day Picard, but if not, hopefully I missed something else. It's Congeniality in a long time. That was what was the name of the actress in that one? I'm like not too great with names, but I can picture her in my head. Brunette woman. Good old Billy Shatner. Is he still doing anything? I assume he's like just retired and probably just goes to conventions from time to time for fun. Well, I answered it in another video, but I'll always talk about Top Gun. So when I was a kid, I was into things like, you know, dinosaurs, the rainforest, and airplanes. And I watched the movie Top Gun and all those really cool fast jets, super loud, going Mach 2, all that really cool stuff. Stuck with me for a while. And then Sandra Bullock, that's the one. So when I was applying to college, I was like, oh, not doing any of the English stuff because I can't read that fast. I would take forever. I always thought it's like, oh, you have to read a book a week. I'm like, but I was okay at like physics and math. So, and then out of all the engineering ones, I wanted to do aerospace because of jets. And space was cool. My grandfather worked for JPL as a scientist over there too, worked on like the space shuttle and all that kind of stuff. He did like the ceramic tiles for the shuttle, did like satellite imaging stuff. So all sorts of really cool stuff. So it was in my blood, so to speak. And then, yeah, I just picked that major. And then it was probably 50-50 toss-up if I'd work on jets or space. And I just happened to get a job in jets. And I've been doing that for like almost 12 years now. The hardest part in college, it's choosing to study enough when there's so many other fun things to do in college. So aerospace engineering, if that's all I did, probably wouldn't have been that tough, as long as like you can get the math and physics behind it. But there's a cheerleading team, there's parties, there's just hanging out with friends, so it's kind of tough to prioritize studying. So I'd always like thread the needle where it's like study just enough to like get the A and then go have fun the rest of the time. I would never over study, if that makes any sense. I just named some of your favorite shows, like the most popular shows around. No, I'm in LA. It's just I'm near the ocean, so it's pretty cool. I don't know what weather it is. Wait, I could probably see on my watch. Hold on. It's 65 degrees outside Fahrenheit, so whatever that is in Celsius if you're from a Celsius place. But yeah, it's only 65 degrees out and overcast, so I'm not getting the solar radiation, so it's actually not too bad, and it's a slight breeze. And this is a really light jacket, and this shirt doesn't have sleeves. It's just like a tank top thing. It's my volleyball shirt. But yeah. So I guess Long Beach must be a lot hotter than coastal LA and the South Bay. It's not sunny though. I mean, it's gonna be daylight for another, oh shoot, now I have to like go back to the time on my watch. Probably another 1.5 hours until the sun sets. Yeah, smart with no sleeves. Well, it's good for volleyball because you don't get caught on anything. Do I like California? If I can, as long as I can afford to live here, yes. I think it has pretty much anything and everything. It's got all the best traffic. No, I'm just kidding. But like for nature, we've got like Death Valley, we've got the mountains, we've got cool museums, we've got big cities, we've got like rural towns, we've got old stuff like the missions from like the 1600s, we've got ghost towns from mining, got forests. Like California has pretty much anything and everything, with like the beautiful Central Coast. We got good wineries, we got good food, great Mexican food. So yeah, I think California is pretty awesome. I'm not on a volleyball league. I would take classes through like a local city class and just play with the people in the class. But also it's like a lot of time too. And on weekends, some people just stay around and will literally play volleyball for like 5 hours a day on each weekend day. But I have friends who are a little farther away, and I'm always doing something, and I just never chose to dedicate all the time to just be like in a volleyball league. But I'll play it every once in a while. How do I maintain my body? Just I have like a million things I enjoy doing, and I just try to do those things as much as I can. So I love lifting weights, I love running, playing volleyball, rock climbing, just going out for walks. And I just cycle through all those things, whatever is convenient and fun sounding. My favorite food, beef Wellington, I guess. I mean, I like carbs and meats, and beef Wellington is both of those things. So we're gonna go with that. But I mean, that's such a what are you in the mood for kind of thing, whether it's sushi or like tacos or whatever it might be. But favorite Mexican food, mole, Oaxacan food. So I'm gonna go with mole. Any really good mole. There's a mole place in Berkeley in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, that has a mole buffet where it's 7 different types of mole that you can have, and it was fantastic. So I was in heaven. I ate way too much and I felt terrible afterwards, and I was meeting a friend later, and I was just barely sipped on my beer with my friend because I was just filled with mole. Do I cook? Yeah, nothing too like crazy. I like to use a crock pot, make some chilies and stuff like that. Just like simpler stuff. But yeah, mole is great. Best and worst fan interaction? I don't know. I mean, they're all usually fairly positive. I don't think people come up to me in person because they don't like me. It's usually like, hey, blah, 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 like, thanks for being on the show. Okay, cool, bye. But worst? I don't know. Every once in a while, like if you're, like I think Pride last, some person must have been on drugs or something, just walked up to me. I was standing outside of World of Wonder. Hold on, gotta. I was standing outside of World of Wonder, and this guy just walks up to me and he goes, and just like was drooling in front of me. It was so weird. He was like in my face like this. He must have been like super drunk or on drugs. And I was like, hello, sir. Like I couldn't really move because I was like posted up outside. It's just weird. But that's like 1 out of 1,000. They're all like 99.9% positive. Yep, that's the one. In Emeryville, it's just down, wait, no, it's in Berkeley, right? It's just down the street from Cal University. Yeah, that's Los Moles. That's the one. That was super, super good. That's your friend. I'm not sure that person's, hopefully they're doing all right. I don't know. I don't want to wish well on anyone. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was like. It was just a slack-jawed, just like in your face. It was weird. Yep, Los Moles and Emeryville. And then before that, I went to a sake tasting at, what do I want to say? Takara, I think it was. Takara sake. And yeah, that was really good. Really, really good. Really tasty. I think it was Takara. I could be misremembering it. But whenever I see it in a store, I go, oh, it's from Berkeley. And then I get it because I went to the tasting and it was super fun. Yep, I am an actor. I can totally reenact any fan. It's usually like, there we go. That's all our selfies are just like this. Let's see. Los Moles, had fun. Have I tried Filipino adobo? I think so. I must have at some point. Adobo sounds familiar. Or maybe I was just hearing about it from somebody, but I don't think I've been to like a Filipino specific restaurant. It would have had to be like something on a menu with a restaurant from foods from lots of places, but sounds tasty. It kind of reminds me of adobe, like the architecture, like the Spanish architecture. That's pretty popular sometimes around here in older homes, the adobe architecture, but I'm sure it does not taste like a house. Love the audio quality. Oh yeah, I got this little microphone here that I've had forever. The Attic fan again? Oh, it's a Vornado. They're Vornado fans. They're pretty powerful and they just like move a lot of air. Pretty good. Okay. Ooh, we're almost at the hour mark. Still walking. Let's see. You went to Humboldt, but okay, so your friend liked the place. But yeah, sake is great. It's like, I don't know how rice has so many flavors, you know? Like they distill from the rice, but then it's like floral and all sorts of stuff just from rice. So it's pretty clean. I think it's usually like what, 15% ALC. I haven't done like a photo shoot in a while. I've done, what's the last one I did? Attitude magazine. That was like several years ago now. Oh no, I did another one for Red Hot 100, I think a year or two ago. But yeah, I don't like actively go out and do a lot of photo shoots or anything. Just time thing, I guess. Ooh, Cincinnati. I've been to Columbus, but not Cincinnati. Favorite drag race season? Probably one of the earlier ones I was on. We'll just go with 7 because it was all new and they used us a lot more back then. In terms of like interacting with the queens on the challenges, like we were part of the musicals. So yeah, probably maybe season 7 or 10. 7 and 10. Almost like my favorite Final Fantasy, 7, 8, and 10. My favorite drag race seasons, 7, 8, and 10. Weird how that works out. And now, the next season after 15 would be 16, and Final Fantasy 16 just came out, so wow. Final Fantasy and Drag Race combined. I mean, season 10, I was theoretically in full drag, right? On the panel where they proportionized me. Proportionizing. Ooh, you got the red hot photo. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that was a really good photo. I liked it. It was kind of weird taking it in Venice in front of all the people walking around because you're standing on a ledge in your underwear and the photographer is like kind of far away, so it doesn't look like anyone's taking a photograph of you because he's on the other side of the walkway. And then people are walking by, it's like, hey dude, and I'm like trying to pose and look cool, pretending that I know what I'm doing, fake it till you make it kind of thing. FF12, I enjoyed that one. I actually beat that Yazmat boss, Y-A-Z-M-A-T. I actually beat that guy on the PS2 version. Oh, that took so long. Oh my gosh. But yeah, FF12, I really liked it. Good world, really solidly built game. And I didn't mind the like less active battling. It was kind of MMO where it kind of auto battles. I didn't mind that. It was fine. Yep, Final Fantasy fan through and through. That's how I got started in video games. All right. Have I tried becoming vegan or vegetarian? No. I mean, for a week in college, just for fun, I went vegan for a while with like no added sugar or anything, just for fun. But no, I eat anything and everything. Resident Evil. I don't think I've ever finished a Resident Evil besides Resident Evil 4. I liked 2 when it came out, but I never owned it. I just played it at a friend's house. And then Resident Evil Code Veronica on the Dreamcast. I rented that from Blockbuster. Played a little bit of that, never beat it. I owned Resident Evil 0 and 1 for GameCube. I got like halfway through Resident Evil 0, but ran out of ammo or something and like got stuck. So I never beat that. And then yeah, I haven't played any of the new ones. But they're cool. I beat Silent Hill 2 and 3. So those are great. I really liked Silent Hill 2 and 3. Those are atmospheric, pyramid heads chasing after you. It's all good stuff. Yeah. 5 is the best? You mean Resident Evil 5 or Final Fantasy 5, which is also good. Yeah, they're just like stressful games. All right. Well, y'all, it's been good hanging out. I think I'm gonna go call my dad back, who was just calling me. And it's been about an hour of a walk. We've hit 10,000 steps, so we're good to go. I'll probably do these again, maybe in the mornings before work or something like that, but I'm glad this worked out and people are hanging out talking, and this is pretty easy to do. And I will see all y'all later. Thanks for hanging out. And podcasts, British History Podcast. All right. Bye, everybody. And peace.